Shalom, family. Most High in Christ bless. Officer Yahalom, IUIC Dallas in the building. All right. So you tuned in to this very, very special edition of a class for you parents. All right. And you're gonna see why I said it's special. All right. So the class topic is public school culture: watch your kids. All right. So again, many emphasis on watch your kids. By the way. All right. So let's go ahead and get straight into it. So this class is going to have two sections, right? This first section, I'm going to address some of the youth, all right, the teenagers, young men and young daughters, all right? And then after that, we're going to go into the section mainly for you adults to expose a lot of the evils and the, I should say, traps that are in the school system, all right? Things that our sons and daughters may see every day, all right? Let's open up with Sirach chapter 6, verse 23.
The book of Sirach, chapter 6 and verse 23. Okay. Give ear, my son, receive my advice, and refuse not my counsel.
Read it again.
Give ear, my son.
The Lord said, give ear, my son. Give ear, my daughters. That's you young daughters of Sarah and you young men out here. You young MOV. Read.
Receive my advice, and refuse not my counsel.
The Lord said to receive his advice and refuse not. Refuse not. Let's get some of the Lord's counsel. Go to Proverbs. It's Proverbs chapter 1. What is the Lord's advice for the youth? Proverbs chapter 1, verse 10.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 1 and verse 10. My son, if sinners entice thee, consent thou not.
The Lord said, if sinners entice you, consent not. What is that going into? Peer pressure. You young men and you young daughters cannot be moved by peer pressure. What if they're not going to like you? Who gives a damn? So what? So what if they don't like you? You got young brothers, young sisters here in the congregation who keep God's commandments. To hell with everybody else at their schoolhouse who don't care, who don't keep God's commandments, who continuously want to live in evil. To hell with it. Read it again.
My son, if sinners entice thee, consent thou not.
The Lord said you should stay away from these children. So again, going back to the verse we just read before, listen to the Lord's counsel. He said, give ear to my advice. If sinners entice you, move the other direction. A lot of you young men get caught up because you care too much about what somebody think about you. So what? Some of you young sisters as well. You too caught up into, oh, what they're going to think. So what? So what? Move around. At the end of the day, you don't want to be that walking charcoal. And if you don't listen to the Lord's counsel, that's what you're going to be. Let's get Sirach 13 now. Sirach 13 and verse 1.
The book of Sirach, chapter 13 and verse 1. He that toucheth pitch shall be defiled therewith.
The Lord said, he that touches pitch. So pitch is like tar. It's tar, right? If you put your hand in tar, is your hand going to come out clean? No. If you put your hand in tar, it will be dirty. It will be defiled. Read.
And he that hath fellowship with a proud man.
So likewise, with he or her who has fellowship, befriend, hanging out, read.
With a proud man.
With a sinful young child, read.
Shall be like unto him.
You will be the same way. You will begin to pick up his habits or her habits. If that child is disrespectful, guess what? You will become disrespectful. If that child is sneaking out at home at night, you will start doing the same thing. If that child is smoking, doing drugs, doing all kind of a type of abominations, having abominable conversations, guess what? You will get caught up and start doing the same thing. How can we prove that? Go to Sirach, same book, chapter 6, verse 17. Yeah, yes. 6 and 17. 6 and 17.
The book of Sirach, chapter 6 and verse 17. Whoso feareth the Lord shall direct his friendship aright.
So if you have the fear of God, you will direct your friendship aright, according to the scriptures. Read.
For as he is,
so as you are,
so shall his neighbor be also.
So will your neighbor be also. So there's no way you can be a disrespectful child. Or let me say that backwards. Let me say it the opposite way. There's no way you can be a righteous child and all your friends are disrespectful. All of your friends is doing all kind of heinous acts. You cannot befriend them and still call yourself righteous. You can't call yourself godly. The Lord said your light's supposed to shine before men that they may see your good works. So you cannot be friends with those type of kids. So if you know that right now you're at school and you're hearing these conversations, you know these little girls have boyfriends, you know these little girls got girlfriends too nowadays. If you see these things, you know these are the type of conversations that are being had at the school. You see these kids sneaking out. You see these kids getting drunk, getting high, and so forth, and you're still hanging around with them? No, that's backwards. That's backwards. That should not be so for you, the children of Israel. It's not supposed to be so. That's what the Lord said right here on this bottom part. For as he is, so shall his neighbor be also. If you hang around sinful children, you will become the next. All right? Real quick, go to Proverbs chapter 30 and verse 11. Proverbs chapter 30 and verse 11.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 30 and verse 11. There is a generation.
There's a generation today, this generation, read.
That curseth their father.
That do what?
That curseth their father. And doth not bless their mother.
Read it again.
There is a generation that curseth their father and doth not bless their mother.
So the Lord said there's a generation who cursed their father and cursed their mother, right? That's the generation that you see today. A lot of you young men, you know what I'm talking about. Like I mentioned earlier today, just a second ago, you sit amongst these children when you at lunch, when you're in passing period, when you're in the classroom, when it's lunchtime, or even at dismissal. You outside having these same conversations. You're in the midst of these conversations that you know you shouldn't be a part of, but you're still doing it. The Lord said, if sinners entice thee, consent thou not. You need to move away from these children. Hey, even if you got to go to school and don't talk to nobody, it is what it is. It is what it is. Move around. And if in case you didn't know, you don't go to school to make friends in the first place. You go to school to get an education, to learn, to build yourself up so that you can go back and build your nation. You take that same knowledge that you take of the world and you use it to build your nation. It's not to school is not for you to go to school and see how popular you can become. That's not what school is about in the first place. All right? And if it could be so, you wouldn't be in that school in the first place. A lot of the reason a lot of you young men and young daughters are in public school is because your parents don't have the means to put you to homeschool you right now. But if it could be the opposite, you wouldn't be there. So Sirach chapter 9 verse 12.
The book of Sirach chapter 9 and verse 12. Delight not in the thing that the ungodly have pleasure in.
Read it again.
Delight not in the thing that the ungodly have pleasure in.
So the Lord's counsel said to not to delight in the things that the ungodly have joy in. And we're going to give a couple of examples here in a second, but let's finish reading the scripture.
But remember, they shall not go unpunished unto their grave.
So the Lord said, delight not in the thing that the ungodly have pleasure in. But remember, they shall not go unpunished unto their grave. So no matter what you see these kids doing, some of you, I know, some of you become enticed by the actions or the crazy behavior that you see at this school, at the school that you go to. Some of y'all see it, you become enticed, you want to be a part of it. But don't think for a minute that the Lord is not going to judge that child. Don't think for a minute that they're going to get away with what they're doing. The Lord see everything. The Lord see everything. And guess what? You have the understanding to know this. So why would you allow yourself to be enticed by these things? We're going to get a few examples of the things that the ungodly children have pleasure in. Disrespecting adults is one. These ungodly rappers of today. You have ungodly fashion trends. You got these social media trends, the Sodom agenda, drunkenness, and getting high. And let's get the first example. All right, so I only got two because it's many. We're going to discuss your favorite rappers of today for these young teenagers. All right, let's get the first one. The first one by Mexican OT. All right, because a lot of you young brothers and young sisters, y'all know who these rappers are. Half of you kids in here can tell us who some of these people is, and I don't even know how. I mean, I do know how, but I don't know how. how you know everything about all these rappers that's coming out today. Some of y'all don't know the 10 Commandments. This is one of the many songs that the young kids now are walking up and down the school singing. A lot of these young kids watching the music videos. So what am I doing why am I bringing this out? To show you so you can identify some of the things that you should not have pleasure in. You should not have pleasure in OT Mexican music. I think I butchered his name. It is what it is. You should not have no pleasure in music talking about what it's talking about. Get that. Let's see what he's talking about. Go ahead.
Chopping down the block while the lack doing jumping jacks. Smoking on the wood.
Smoking on the what?
On the wood, yelling timber like it's lumberjack.
So there's drugs, read.
Suppressors on a Mac 10 sounding like it's bubble wrap.
Okay, guns.
Throw the TV in the shower. I'ma give his ass a bubble bath.
Violence. Drugs, guns, violence. Read.
Yoppers and choppers. I got a whole lot of that. While the steel, I'ma kill y'all, got him falling back. Got me feeling like a baby that's fiending. So where my bottle at?
More drugs.
I'm just rhyming words. I don't even know how to rap.
Damn right, because it's trash. Read.
Every time that they see me, best believe that I'm flossed up.
All right. Got crossed up. We ain't going to read that last part. Yeah, you can drop that. Go to the next one. So y'all can see this foolishness.
The hell is this?
There's no reason why any of you young sisters, hell, even the older brothers and sisters, so definitely not you young teenagers, there's no reason y'all should have this guy on your playlist. No reason you should even know who he is. Next, get the next song. Get the next song. What I'm showing you is the things that the ungodly of this world have pleasure in. These are things that you should not have anything to do with. Let's get the next song. Here's another one by, where is this guy? NLE Chopper.
Baby Mexico Shada, you heard me. We finna talk art. You heard me. YNR, yeah. Midas got a jug, yeah. Yeah. I'm a menace. Keep me a rack just like tennis. I'm with us like I'm Dennis.
Said I'm with the ish like I'm Dennis. What is he talking about already? Number one, he said I'm a menace. Is that something you should be putting in your mind as a young man, as a young daughter of Sarah? Is that what you should be walking around here calling yourself a menace? He said, keep a rack on me just like tennis. Talking about guns. All right. Guess what? This is foolishness. This is foolish. I shouldn't even have to tell you. Y'all know it's foolishness. Yet, some of you still driving and some of you still at the school when your mama or your father ain't around. Listen to this mess. Go back to the song.
I started this, I'm gonna finish. Niggas be hating, trying to blemish my image. Who want the smoke? 223 came with a scope. Extended clip long as a rope. We wipe his nose just like he had him a cold. I knew that boy was a hoe. Pull up with the gang.
That's where they get that gang. That irks my nerve every time I hear that crowd. Keep going.
You know that we banging. What is your set? Nigga, what is you claiming? I am a beast. You cannot tame it. Don't point a finger. This shit can get dangerous. These niggas hating. These niggas plotting. Oh, he got money? I'm running his wallet.
What are we reading? What are we reading? This is foolishness. The Lord said you should have no pleasure in this crap. This is garbage. But guess what? Many of the young teenagers today love NLE Chopper. Many of the young teenagers today love Mexican OT. And it's not just them. Here's a couple I wrote down. Trippie Redd, the Playboy Cardi, Bad Bunny, etc., etc. All these rappers of today are making music to destroy you. to destroy you. It has no business on your phones. It has no business on your playlist at all. Give me, go to Proverbs 13 real quick. Watch this. Proverbs chapter 13. We're going to read verse 20 and verse 21. I hope you young brothers and you young sisters are paying attention. I hope y'all are paying attention because we're only scratching the surface. We're only scratching the surface of all of this madness. Go ahead. Proverbs 13 and verse 20.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 13 and verse 20. He that walketh with wise men shall be wise. But a companion of fools shall be destroyed.
Read that again.
He that walketh with wise men shall be wise.
If you walk with wise men, you will be wise. Read.
But a companion of fools shall be destroyed.
A companion of fools. What's a companion of fools? The young men walking around listening to this mess about killing and destroying their own people. Listen to music about selling drugs, getting high. That's foolishness. The Lord said, what did the last part say again?
But a companion of fools shall be destroyed.
You will be destroyed. Be destroyed if you keep listening to that music. You will be destroyed if you keep hanging around these children. If you don't have enough spiritual strength to say, you know what? I ain't got nothing to do with this young brother here. Nah, I'm moving around. Nah, this kid talking about doing what? Nah, man, I'm good, bro. I don't have nothing to do with that. Move around. You young brothers and you young sisters, you know what you're supposed to do. You know when you leave the presence of your fathers what you're supposed to be doing, but you don't do it. But the Lord warned you. He said, you keep doing so, you will be destroyed. Read on.
Evil pursueth sinners.
And what?
Evil pursueth sinners.
If you stay in the midst of sin, evil will always pursue you. Likewise, why every day somebody's getting arrested for something? Why? Now, I didn't open up the class, but for you parents that's listening, for you young brothers, I work in the school district. So what I'm doing is bringing out things that I see on a day-to-day basis. A day-to-day basis. And it irks my nerve to see a lot of young brothers and young sisters destroy their lives because they do stupid things and knowing they're not supposed to do it. And guess what? They don't even have the laws of God. You do. And you still decide to go that way. Having the understanding what not to do. Having a father in your home telling you, son, don't do that. Stay away from these thoughts. Don't do drugs, etc., etc. Y'all have the YDOS. You have the YMOV. And some of you act like it ain't nothing. Some of you take it for granted until you get caught up out here in the world doing stupid stuff. We got to leave that alone. We got to stop and put away those foolish things. Read that again. Verse 21.
Evil pursueth sinners, but to the righteous good shall be repaid.
If you keep playing around, evil will pursue you. If some of you don't stop, some of you will end up dead. Some of you will end up in jail. Some of you will end up overdosing on drugs. I'm telling you because I see it. I see it. Young men destroying their lives because of one bad mistake. I'm trying to tell you, it's time to wake up, young men. Give me Proverbs 12 and verse 26.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 12.
Get that definition ready as well.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 12 and verse 26. The righteous is more excellent than his neighbor.
To you young brothers, you young sisters, listen to what God said. Listen to his counsel. Read it again.
The righteous is more excellent than his neighbor.
The Lord said the righteous. You who have God's commandments, who follow God's laws, you're more what?
Excellent than his neighbor.
You're more excellent than your neighbors. Give me the definition real quick. Give me that definition of excellence.
The word excellent has had multiple definitions throughout its history, including Middle English. In Middle English, excellent meant outstanding.
Outstanding.
Surpassing. Supreme.
What?
Supreme.
Supreme. Read.
Unexcelled. Or great.
Let's get 1828.
1828. In the American Dictionary of the English Language, excellent meant being of great virtue.
Wow.
Or worth. Or being of great value or use.
You see that? Being of great value or use. Go back to the scripture.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 12 and verse 26. The righteous is more excellent than his neighbor.
You have more virtue. Your way of life is more superior than these other young men and young daughters who don't keep God's commandments. You have to believe that. You got to understand it. Read it again.
The righteous is more excellent than his neighbor, but the way of the wicked seduceth them.
But the Lord said, but the ways of the wicked will seduce you. Understand that, brothers and sisters. Your ways are more excellent. Your ways are far more superior than the things. Hell, some of them was celebrating Christmas. Some of them celebrate their birthdays. And you telling me you want to live like them? You have God's commandments, the Lord's feast days, prophecies about why these chariots flying over our heads. Prophecy, you have the answers of why your people in this state today. You have the answers. But why would you want to be like them? Why would you want to crouch down and go backwards? It makes no sense. Your ways are more superior. Your knowledge, your understanding of this is superior than the ways of the world. Brothers and sisters, y'all have to understand that. All right? Way far more excellent than those who you call friends. All right? So you got to choose wisely. You have to choose wisely those who you keep company with. Y'all have to understand something. Like I said, we only touch the surface when it comes to the section dealing with you teenagers and so forth, right, with the youth. But y'all have to understand something. Likewise, the adults, you children also, the same way they're trying to destroy us, they're trying to destroy you as well. So you have to be mindful of the things you listen to. You have to be mindful when you decide, I'm going to go outside of the instructions that my father gave me. You have to be mindful, because if you do that, you're going to get caught up. Read that.
The book of Psalms, chapter 69 and verse 4.
Bring it out.
They that hate me without a cause are more than the hairs of mine head.
Read that one more time.
They that hate me without a cause are more than the hairs of mine head.
The Lord said, those that hate you are more than the hairs on your head. Understand that. You have enemies. Don't think just because you're 12, you're 14, you're 15, you don't have enemies. No, we have enemies. The nation of Israel have enemies. And that's why they set up this garbage, what they call rappers, this garbage music videos. That's why they set these things up, to destroy your mind, to suppress your self-esteem. That's what they want you to do. They want you to continue the cycle that many of your parents have escaped by learning God's commandments. Y'all don't understand that. So it's wise for you to take hold of the instructions that your parents are giving you. Listen to God's counsel, which is to do what? Follow his instructions. If sin has enticed thee, don't consent to that. All right? Let's get to the next section. All right, go to Sirach 32, verse 22. All right, so we're going to go into the next section now. Dealing with parents. I'm going to tell you right now. It's about to get real. All right, this section of the class is for you parents. All right, so this section is going to expose a lot of things that some of y'all don't know is going on. Some of y'all don't really understand how evil it is in the world. All right, and I get it. Some of us think, all right, because I'm an adult, I got a 9 to 5, I go to work, I do this, I do that. I'm the only one who deal with trials. My son and my daughter can't deal with temptation. That's a lie. We're gonna show you what I'm talking about. Get Sirach 32 and verse 22.
The book of Sirach, chapter 32 and verse 22. And beware of thine own children.
The Lord said, be what?
Beware of thine own children.
Let's put some emphasis on your own real quick. Read that again.
And beware of thine own children.
Beware of your own children. Read.
In every good work, trust thine own soul.
So the Lord said, beware of your own children. That means you as parents, you must be alert. You cannot be an absentee parent. You cannot know nothing going on with your children. Some of you are like that. Some of y'all kids go to and fro out the door, and you don't know anything that's going on. Some of your children have cell phones that you allow them to text. Some of your children have social media because you allow it.
The hell is this?
And It makes no sense. What the hell your kids got social media for? For what? For what? It makes no sense. Read that again.
And beware of thine own children.
So guess what? We have to be cautious of how we are raising our children. You must be aware of their friends. All right? Those who your kids calling their friends, you should know who their friends are. You should know who the parents of these kids is. You should know what hobbies your children are into. You should know what school activities your children are doing. If they're doing them after school, you better make sure your kids are after school. Because I'm going to show y'all here soon, some of them ain't doing that. What else? You also have to be mindful of what your children are watching on TV. All right? It's our job to learn what evils are out there in this world and to teach our children to avoid those. It's our job as parents to set up that wall, to teach them, to let our children know, hey, if you see this, go left. If you see this, let me know, boom, 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 so we can make moves. Whatever the case may be. That's our job as parents. But some of us don't do that, all right? And I have to mention, too, this point. A lot of us in the truth, all right, a lot of us wasn't raised in the truth. So coming in, there's a lot of, how you say it? I forget the term. But a lot of y'all are emotional behind your children. A lot of you are very emotional behind your children. You don't want to correct your children. You think your child can do no wrong. I'm telling you, I bet it's at least maybe 2 or 3 of y'all right now know what I'm talking about. You thought the same thing until it bit you in your ass. Some of y'all think the same way. You cannot take your children's world, their kids. Foolishness is bound in the heart of a child. We got to remember those things. And especially you, the fatherless homes, you sisters who have children and there's no man in the house. You're raising a child by yourself. You especially must be mindful of what your child is doing when they're not in your presence. And that's even in the truth. Even in the truth. Don't give your children liberty. Don't think just because they're having a conversation with somebody here that is just righteous. I kid you not. Some of these kids in here got the damn devil on them too. You be stupid if you want to. You'll find out. We already read. Go back to Proverbs 1 and 10 real quick. Proverbs chapter 1 and 10. Because we read it for the youth, but I want to read this again.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 1 and verse 10.
Bring it out.
My son, if sinners entice thee, consent thou not.
Guess what, parents? You must teach your children to stay away from those type of children. If you never had that conversation and told your kids, hey, if you see, let me use a name. Throw me a name. Raekwon. Hey, if you at school and you see little Raekwon doing something he ain't supposed to be doing, you better move all the way away from him and tell the teacher.
Message.
If you see little Raekwon doing some drugs, he talking in a certain type of way, saying certain things, you better get far away from him and go tell a teacher. You better do those things. If y'all haven't, just take this class as a warning. Take this class as a warning. Go to the next scripture. What we got? Sirach chapter 30 and verse 11.
The book of Sirach, chapter 30 and verse 11.
Bring it out.
Give him no liberty in his youth.
That means don't wink at foolishness. If your child is doing evil, don't act like it's nothing. Don't wink at it. Read.
And wink not at his follies.
So you can't be the parent every time your son get into trouble or they do something evil. You say, oh, well, he's just a kid. Oh, well, that's just a phase. But look, all kids do. I didn't know. No, that is not the right approach to parenting. Read it again.
Give him no liberty in his youth. And wink not at his follies.
So what does that mean? You must correct that behavior. Whoop his ass. Whoop her ass.
Hey.
According to the scripture, that's what it says. It don't say ball your knuckles up and beat the hell out of your children with your hands. No, take that belt and put it where it need to be. Some of y'all don't do that. We know. We see it all the time. Especially some of you sisters. You got kids. You have no father in the house, and you won't whoop your kids behind. That's crazy to me.
The hell is this?
I don't know too many Judites who don't know what a belt is. I don't know. Because I know when I was growing up, that thing came with birth. It's like a starter kit. You get a baby, pops out, and it comes with a leather belt. That's how I was raised. I don't know about some of y'all, man. Some of y'all a little strange. Some of y'all a little strange nowadays. Y'all act like y'all scared to discipline your children. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy as hell.
Beta bell.
That's crazy as hell to me, right? Hey, look. That soundbite threw me off a little bit. Hey, go to Proverbs 13:24. All right. So look, we gotta make sure that as parents, you can't allow your children to become emboldened in their sin. All right, you cannot allow that. But we're gonna circle back to that comment in a minute. Give me that Proverbs 13:24.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 13 and verse 20.
Because I made this statement. I put a lot of emphasis on whoop that ass. Am I wrong? Let's see what the Lord say.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 13 and verse 24. Mm-hmm. He that spared his rod hated his son.
Uh-oh, read it again.
He that spared his rod,
if you don't whoop your kid's ass,
hated his son.
You hate your son. And you hate your daughter. If you afraid to whoop that ass. It's that simple. If you love your child, you're going to discipline them. You're going to whoop that ass and instruct them on what they did wrong and teach them what God's commandments say so they don't do it again. And we know hey, play that one more time. The soundbite, hit that one more time.
Message.
Yeah, some of y'all need to listen. And a lot of times you can look around today and look out in the world and see the children who have no discipline. Oh, you know what just came to mind? How many of us, and look, this is how I know that y'all know what I'm talking about. How many of y'all see a kid do something and you be like, well, that's some white boy shit. That's some white kid. How come we all know that? Because we understand in a Caucasus household, they don't discipline the kids. Them kids will tell their mama, shut up, mom. I do what I want to do. Close my door. They get away with that kind of stuff. They do what the hell they want to do. Their parents give them money to go get drunk in high school. Give them money to go do drugs. Nah, bro, that's not how we get down. That's not normal. That's not normal for Israelites. All right? Now, let's go to the evils now. Yeah, so now we're going to go into some of the evils, all right? Some of the evils, because remember, the name of the class is Public School Culture. Watch your kids, all right? So now I'm going to show some of the things that your children see every day when they go to school. Some of the things that some of y'all don't even know about. Some of y'all didn't even know that these things were created to get your child hemmed up. Get the first one. All right, so this is a tool. This is called a dry herb vaporizer. I want to show y'all some of these things that I see these on a daily basis. Children are doing these things. So I want y'all to take heed of some of these photos. So if you see these in your house, you think it's a USB drive, or you think something else, you got to be mindful of these things. You have to be mindful of the traps that are out there in the world for your children. Go to the next one. Look at this. Stony Charms. Some of you will see the bag and look right past it, thinking that it's a snack. Even your kids will see this thing, pick it up, thinking it's Lucky Charms or something. Go to the next one. Look at that, y'all. Hey, so to read the titles for me, if you will.
Stoner Patch Dummies. Cherry.
Hey, yeah, you're a damn dummy if you put that in your mouth.
What the hell is this?
500 milligrams.
Next.
Stoner Patch Dummies. Strawberry.
So look, if y'all are wondering, as I mentioned earlier, I work in a school district, right? I'm showing y'all things that I see on a daily basis. These are things that children are eating. These are things that children are being arrested, going to jail every day for having stuff like this on their person, bringing this into the school. All right, and mind you, this is THC. This stuff is destroying the mind of these young daughters, these young sons out here, these young supposed to be princes, but they out here destroying themselves with drugs.
You let the devil use you let the damn devil use you.
Keep going. It gets worse. It gets worse. Go to the next one.
Double stuffed stone.
So yes, some of your children come home with a bag of Oreos in a Ziploc bag. You better pay attention. You better pay attention, because I'm telling you, they passing this stuff around to one another at school. So if you're not teaching your children to stay away from evil, you will find your sons and daughters eating this crap. Go to the next one.
Stonios. Stoner's favorite cookie.
Let's go. Next one.
Doritos.
What they call this?
Doritos.
Your son come in the house eating chips
The hell is this?
that somebody gave him in a Ziploc bag. Next. Look at the evils. Read that now. Hey, leave that on the screen. Go back to Psalms chapter 94. I'm sorry, not 94. I mean, I was speaking to the spirit, huh? Psalms 94:16. Yeah, we should get that too. Let's go ahead and get that. Go ahead and get that.
The book of Psalms, chapter 94 and verse 16.
Bring it out.
Who will rise up for me against the evildoers?
Who's going to rise up against this?
This is war.
This is the thing. These are the things that they're pushing to our sons, pushing on our daughters. Read.
Or who will stand up for me against the workers of iniquity?
We have to stand up and speak against this, because these things affect our children. They put our sons in the hospital, make our sons and our daughters become addicts, become drug addicts at an early age.
Right.
Go back to Psalm 69.
The book of
Psalm
Psalms.
69 verse 4.
The book of Psalms, chapter 69 and verse 4. They that hate me without a cause are more than the hairs of mine head.
Why the hell would you make Doritos? Why in the hell would you label this to look just like the same thing? So a child can take this and hide it from his parents.
The hell is this?
This trap is set up for our children. You better wake the hell up. Y'all better wake the hell up and pay attention to what's going on out here. Some of y'all don't understand. These are the things that are set out here by our enemies. Let's go to the next one. Go to the next image. And y'all see these everywhere today, these damn vape pens. If I had $1 for every time a child went to jail for having a vape pen, boy, I'd pay my rent with it. If I had $1 for every time I had seen a drunk child, every time I had to find a child high in the school, in the bathroom, laid over, thrown up, laying in his own damn throw up because he's too high. If I had $1 for every time I can pay my rent, it's not a joke. Y'all got to understand these things. This is what's going on in the school system. These are the children that are around your children. You sending your sons and daughters in the public school system, and this is what they have to see every day.
This is
Some
war.
of your children are smoking this. I almost said this ish. Let me control myself. Some of your children are smoking this crap. Some of your children are chewing on these Doritos, chewing on these gummies, knowing what's inside of it. Go to the next picture. There's more vape pens. Go to the last one. Look at this. Infused Slizzles. Cheetos. Flaming hot Cheetos with drugs in it. With drugs in it. I know some of y'all right now are like, what? Yes, this shit's real. I already told you before. I'm telling you, I'm bringing things out that I see with my own eyes. This stuff is traps set up for our children. And there's other evil young kids selling it to other kids out here in these school systems. There's adults pushing it in the school system. And don't think for 1 minute that is not in elementary school. Don't think for 1 minute that is not in the junior high school. I'm trying to tell you because I know. Yes, y'all, this is pissing me off. Go to Delta 8. Let's see some of the stuff that's in it. Inside of this THC, there's a chemical called Delta 8. All right, we ain't gonna read all of the snapshot, but I want to bring out a few points on this thing. All right, because again, this is the culture. I want to keep circling back to the topic. Public school culture. This is normal amongst the children of this generation. This is normal to get high. It's normal for some of the other things. We only touch the surface. That's the crazy part. We ain't even done yet. Bringing out these evils. That's normal amongst these children of this generation. So let's get that image right there. Delta 8. Get that. Delta 8 is is from the .gov. All right, go ahead, read that.
Delta 8. THC has serious health risks.
So it said that this Delta 8, that's the stuff that's in those edibles that we just looked at, all right? That's what's in these vape pens that these kids are passing around smoking at 6:30 in the morning till 12 midnight. Read that first line.
Delta 8 tetrahydrocannabinol, also known as Delta 8 THC. It is a psychoactive substance found in the cannabis sativa plant, of which marijuana and hemp are two varieties.
So understand this stuff derives from marijuana. I want to bring that out. All right, now let's scroll down to the highlighted point, bullet point number 2.
Number 2, the National Poison Control Center received over 2,300 adverse event reports involving Delta 8 THC containing products in 2021.
So this is just 2021. This is not even the most recent because over the years, 2021 after, that was post pandemic when the schools were shut down. Now things start to open up. I can tell you now from the time, and I've been in the school system since at that time, it's progressed on how many cases of drugs being used in this system. All right, go back to that real quick.
70% required medical intervention.
So when it says medical intervention, that's how that's showing you that a lot of these children that start vaping, they end up having to be seen by therapists because they're having withdrawals, because they're passing the hell out. I actually just had this situation I seen a couple weeks ago. Kid hitting it, these kids are smoking this stuff. I'm talking about to the blue in the face. And they just dropping left and right, passing the hell out because they smoking this stuff. It's harmful. It's not meant for you to be inhaling nothing. None of that stuff is. But these young kids are still doing it. And think about it, these are teenagers. These are elementary schools. And yes, elementary. Down to elementary, middle school, high school kids. This is all through the public system where these kids are experimenting with these vape pens. THC or nicotine is one and the same. All right, it says 70% require medical intervention and 41% involve pediatric, involve pediatric exposure. Read the second part.
Number 3, Delta 8 THC has psychoactive and intoxicating effects.
It has what?
Psychoactive and intoxicating effects.
So understand this. These vape pens, these edibles that you saw, there's many form of fashions. So I'm trying to tell you again, watch your kids. These are the things that are out there to trap your kids up. These are the traps out here. And all it takes is them to have one. And then now they become an addict. Now you have to beat your son over the head spiritually because you like, what the hell wrong with you? You keep falling to the same thing over and over. Why? Because you start taking this stuff and it got him hooked. Now he became an addict. That's why we have to be mindful of the evils that are out there in the midst to trap our children up, all right? We're going to get to some more. Let's get the shooter bottles now. A lot of you parents think when you drop your kids off at school that they're going to school and they're in class, they got good grades, they're behaving themselves. I'm going to be the bearer of bad news and tell you that's not the case with all your children. Some of your children, when you drop them off, this is what they're doing. Give me that photo. When your children are dropped off at school, Some of them are hooking up with their friends in the restroom, outside across the street in the parking lot. They're grabbing these shooter bottles and they're putting them in what? Go to the next picture. Next picture. Right here. Some of your children are going to school and they're already drinking at 7 o'clock in the morning. And you don't even
The
think
hell is
about it.
this?
And I'm showing you because these are things that I've seen with my own eyes. It's a trend now for kids to come to school with liquor and Gatorade bottles. That's a trend in the high school age. That's a trend. They're carrying shooter bottles to school, drinking while at school.
The hell is
Carrying
this?
vape pens while at school. I'm trying to tell y'all, these kids, all of the things that y'all think are only for adults is not. This is 2024. Evil is at an all-time high right now, and it's only going to increase. This is a trend for kids to come to school, and they're bringing liquor bottles to school. They're coming, putting liquor in the bottles, mixing it up. Now, I'm speaking from experience. I'm not just making up some stuff that I Googled and saw on social media. No, I'm telling y'all from experience the stuff that is going on right now in the school system.
Message.
All right, you know what? Give me that. Y'all got that video? The stupid dance. Y'all got that video still? Play the video.
The hell is this?
This is what your kids is doing. This is what a lot of the kids are doing in school today.
The hell
They're
is
skipping
this?
class because they're in the hallway making TikToks. I bet you right now, some of your kids, y'all that are watching this video, some of y'all kids know every damn TikTok dance that there is on TikTok. All the dances. But if I ask them, what's the fourth commandment, they don't know it.
Nope.
Right on. They don't know it. It's crazy. But these are the things that this younger generation are out here doing. Let's get to some more. Now let's get to some of these other ungodly trends that are out there. Because a lot of our children today are caught up in the beauty standard that are set before them, which is really not a true beauty standard. It's abomination. Let's start off with these ungodly cumbrellas. Let's get that. A lot of you see these things. This is what these young teenagers are doing today. And I'm telling you, if I see one of you sisters coming in the school with this, oh my goodness. Let's go. Hey, I'm telling you, just don't do it. Just don't do it. All right? Take the damn things off. If you got them at home, throw them in the trash. This is what a lot of these young teenagers are walking around here because they believe whatever in their mind made them believe that this is beautiful. Just throw it away. Throw it away. Go to the next one. Go to the next one. In this, I don't even know how. I do know how, but I don't know how, but I do know how. This became popular today. Here you have, I forgot the brother name.
What?
Lyles. Was it Noah Lyles? Yeah, Noah Lyles. Need to change his first name. This guy, famous Olympian, 100 meter, 200 meter, if I remember right. And he shows up wearing fingernail polish. As if it's a fashionable thing.
You a freak, boss.
Facts. And a lot of these young brothers today are doing the same thing. For some reason, they think it's cool to walk around here with fingernail polish on their hands. No, that's gay. Can I say that on YouTube? That's gay. No, that is a Sodom custom. Don't do that. You young brothers better not ever come in here with no fingernail polish. And even if it's clear nail polish, it's still nail polish, not for you.
Nope.
Deuteronomy 22:5. It says a man, just get that real quick. Let's get that real quick. It's not in my notes, but we're going to have to get it. We got to get it. Deuteronomy 22, verse 5.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 22 and verse 5.
Bring it out.
The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man.
Uh-huh.
Neither shall a man,
Now, instead of what?
a man
Uh-huh.
put on a woman's garment.
A man should not be wearing no damn fingernail polish. That ain't manly. It's not cool. It's not fashionable. No, it's wrong. It's strange.
Message.
Finish that off.
For all that do
If
so
you doing so, if you have the slightest inclination to do so,
are abomination unto the Lord thy God.
it's an abomination to God. Let's get the next one. Let's get the next one. This is what they doing. You have a football player, an athlete, who they push on the forefront of our young brothers for them to follow behind this custom. That's what they do. They push these athletes in front of the young men who have no fathers, who have no leaders, and push this image in front of them. And then you have this guy, D.L. Hughley, posting stuff like this. Now, this is early this year, but it's relevant. Read that underneath it.
A new generation of black male athletes are pushing the boundaries of men's beauty.
No, you're gay. You ain't pushing no boundaries. You're gay. Read.
Through the trend of nail art, top draft picks Caleb Williams, Jared McCain, and track star Noah Lyles are well known for polishing their nails.
They're well known for what?
Polishing their nails.
Brothers are weird.
Some like the new trend for men, but others don't. What do you think?
What do I think? Babylon is going to burn.
That's right.
That's what I think. That's crazy. So guess what? To you parents out there, yes, this is a trend. This is something you will see on every other young male. If I count 5, 3 of them probably gonna have their nail painted. This is normal amongst this generation. Again,
You gay.
you have to, hey, play that again.
Nigga, you gay.
So when D.L. Hughley, when you ask what do I think,
Nigga, you gay.
that's what I think. And anybody else doing it. The Lord said we are not supposed to be wearing the same thing that a woman has on. That's strange. All right? So, parents, understand, these are things that your sons may be enticed with. Let's get the next one. The bleaching. Bleaching of the skin. Next snapshot. So, it was, I forget when it was, but I went into a hair store to get me a brush, right? I still go there to get me a brush time to time. And I walked into the hair store. I kid you not, bro. I seen they had whole aisles next to the hair products with bleach cream.
The hell is this?
Bleaching cream next to hair product. And who do you think was on the box of this bleaching soap? It was your daughters. On the front of this thing. Why? So it can entice your children to say, hey, Mom, can you buy me this soap so I can lighten my blemishes? It's a trap.
The hell is this?
It's a trap. A lot of our kids are being enticed this day into these new quote-unquote beauty trends about bleaching their skin. It's a trap. It's a crafty trap. Give me that. Y'all got that snapshot ready? Let's get that. Go ahead, read that for me, soldier.
Skin bleaching is a common practice among teenagers, and it can have serious health consequences. Prevalence. A study of young adults found that 26.3% of respondents had bleached their skin.
Go down to awareness.
Awareness. A survey found that 63.8% of respondents didn't know the ingredients of the products they used.
So that's 6 out of every 10 don't even know what the hell is in the stuff they're putting on their body.
The hell is this?
Read.
And 40.5% didn't know the side effects.
Go to the impact on the communities now. Now, who's being targeted most? Who suffers behind this?
Impact on communities. Skin bleaching is a public health issue that affects people of color,
People of what?
of color, including African.
So, African, talking about the tribe of Judah, you so-called African Americans, West Indians, so-called Haitians, and so forth, right? Read.
Indian, East Asian, Latin American.
Latin American. So it does say African American, but we don't care about the nations. You already know that. Dealing with the Israelites. That's the so-called African Americans, so-called Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans. We are those people who suffer behind this, because what comes behind skin bleaching? It wears off at your self-esteem. One, in order for you to put bleaching cream on you in the first place, something in your mind has to say that I look better if I was Caucasian. That's white supremacy. It's a trap. It's a trap. In case y'all didn't know, God was a black man. He is a black man. His son is too. And all the angels and all the hosts of heaven and the Jews and all of God's chosen people are black. That's it. So don't fall into this trap. All right. And I would say only the sisters, but unfortunately, a lot of brothers too fall into the same category of bleaching their skin. And if you want to know how bad it look, go look at Sammy Sosa. Go look at the then and then look at the now. You'll find out. Let's get the next trend. This next ungodly custom. Now we're gonna get one target more on the young brothers today. Go ahead. All right, look at this. We got some basketball shorts. Now, if you start on the far right, all right, you got the gray ones. It says basketball, right? 8-inch. It needs to be a little bit longer than that, too, past the knees. This is what normal looks like for most of us, right? But if you start to go to the left, notice how the shorts get shorter and shorter and shorter. And today, this is the fashion trend. This is what everybody's doing. And I'm telling you, this is how the young kids are dressing, and they think it's okay. And your brother here is here to show you that that's not normal. So you should not be walking around here wearing those little bitty shorts with your thighs out.
The hell is this?
All right? No, like Huey say. Yeah, no, don't do that. All right, let's get the next one. Let's get the next trend. Here we have a brother wearing what? Yes, you know what it is. Look at that. He got his nose pierced. That's another thing a lot of brothers are getting caught up in today, wearing these nose rings. When you read Isaiah chapter 3, the Lord gave nose jewels to women to make them more beautiful. Why in the hell does a brother need a nose ring? Take it out. It's effeminate.
Nigga, you gay.
It was not for you. It's for your wife. All right? Well, we're talking to you youth, but you get what I'm saying. All right? Let's get the next one. And this is another one. This crap right here. I know it's a sodomite hiding in a cave right now who came up with this trend. Somewhere in some hole right now who came up with this stuff, and somebody took it and ran with it. This is effeminate. You young brothers better not walk around here with no damn dangly earrings on your ear. And you parents, don't let your son buy it. You better not buy it for them either. It's effeminate. No, don't. No. Just don't do that.
No.
All right? Damn dangly earring. Bro, I see this every day. It's in the bathroom. I'm like, bro, you don't. Nothing clicked. It was like, no, I don't get it, man. I don't get it. Let's get the next one. Let's get another one of the traps that we have that are set out here for our children. Another major one that we see today. Youth violence. All right? Shootings. And I have this image, right? I want you to scroll through the next image for me. I have a few more images right here. There you go. Keep scrolling. Youth violence. A lot of the young generation today fall into youth violence. Why? Because of the music industry is pushing this heavy on our children. A lot of the music, let it stay right there for me. A lot of you parents cannot be clueless as to what's out there. You can't be clueless of the things that other children are doing and in the same vicinity as your children. So we have to be mindful of these things. This is what the music is pushing. They pushing this imagery. And if you don't build your children up and teach them God's commandments, they will get caught up in this same foolishness. They'll be somewhere on somebody's Facebook posted up with guns wearing some fringes. We don't need that. We don't need that's foolishness. That is foolishness. There's many cases of gun violence, children being shot in the school systems, or school-aged children, I should say it like that. School-aged children carrying guns. They know where to get guns nowadays. They know where to get these things. Just like they know how to get drugs, they know how to get guns as well. And they shooting each other over the slightest thing the dumbest thing you could think of. They're shooting one another over it. Also, in this system today, you have domestic violence. Yes, I said it. Domestic violence. I know it's shocking, right? You would be like, how in the hell is children deal with domestic violence? Yes. In high school today, you have teenage relationships with young brothers beating on girls.
The hell is this?
Young girls beating on other girls. Because I didn't mention it yet, but a lot of parents, y'all can't be clueless and think that when the scripture talk about the remnant being left, unless we all be like Sodom, that didn't start in the school. I'm telling you right now, it's normal for a girl to walk around with a girlfriend in school today. Going all the way down. It's normal for a boy to walk around holding hands with another boy. It's normalized for these sodomite relationships. A lot of y'all don't understand that when your children go to school, and I didn't even get to the examples. I'm going to get on that. I'm about to get on that here in a second. A lot of y'all don't understand that when some of y'all drop your daughters off, when you drop her off wearing her modest dress, she goes in the bathroom with her friend and comes out wearing a skirt that's above her knees.
Message.
Some of y'all don't understand, when you drop your son off, he's in there with a girl in a parking lot doing something in the backseat of the car. Some of y'all don't understand, when your child is getting dropped off at school, some of your boys might be the little boy that's in the bathroom getting rammed by a group of boys. And I'm telling you stuff that happens. Or your daughter out here giving how can I use some light words? Giving fellatio to a boy in the front seat of his car. On the stairs. Outside in broad daylight, right in the field. I'm telling you because I seen it. Every other day is something going on like this. Some of y'all's daughters will go to school and she goes across the street or she goes down the street and multiple boys are running through her. These are things that are happening in the public school system. This is normal in the school systems. So again, it would behoove you to not only teach your children God's commandments as you should be, but also at the same time, you can't be clueless as a parent and not understand that your child has to be built up as well to endure temptation. You can't be an absentee parent. You can't. It will not work. You will allow your sons and your daughters to become consumed in the world and be destroyed, as we read earlier.
This is war!
Now we mentioned a few things. We mentioned the vapes, the edibles, these traps that are out here. They're getting high, children leaving campus. Yeah, I got to mention that too. I forgot to go off my notes. If y'all have high school students in school, y'all need to make sure if they have phones, you got a tracker on their phone, and they need to be on and active. Right. So you know if your child is in that car with the rest of the group of the kids smoking on their lunch break. There should be a tracker on the phone. If they got a cell phone, high school kids, and they moving around, you should know where they are. Because some of y'all don't understand. Some of y'all think that your kids is just so good and they can never do no harm. No, we got to understand. We ain't dealing with no newborn babies fresh on earth. These are spirits of old. Some of these children are what they are. And some of them will be saved from doing those things because you help build them up from falling to that direction, falling to those kind of traps. But it's up to you. All right. We got worldly fashion trends. We touched that. We touched this worldly rap music, the clothing swaps. All right, I mentioned that. What's some other ones? The trans relationships. Now, telling y'all, I see some crazy stuff. But there's instances where in the school system today, as y'all already know, they push a lot of this quote unquote rainbow stuff. I'll use that word for YouTube's sake. Rainbow life that they try to push on a lot of the children in the school systems. There's even cases where you'll have young men allowed to come to the school dressed like a female, all right? And they're able to go to and fro like nothing. And I want to mention even an example that I've even seen where you have a young brother, and it's not no small brother. This is like brother damn near 6 foot tall and kind of a little stout, but he dressed like a female. Braids, makeup, nose ring, dressed like a female, but he has a girlfriend. Now, yeah, right. Yeah, you heard what I said. The brother's dressed like a female, but he has a girlfriend, regular girl, right? Confusion.
What?
Confusion. What in the hell? Yes, confusion. But again, I'm pointing these things out so you can understand the temptations, the evils that are out there in front of our children when they go to these public school systems. That's why I'm going to keep putting emphasis on watch your children. All right, so we got that, and we also got next section. We got a few more videos. So I got a few videos that I want to show y'all as well because, again, I got to keep bringing this stuff out. All right,
Bring it out.
by the end of this class, there should be a lot of things that y'all are aware of and more keen to that goes on, because I know a lot of us don't think that a child's mind can go so far to do evil. But the scripture said Israel is wise to do evil. And I want to point out and tell y'all, the kids now, this generation, they doing far more than what you was doing at your age, or at their age. I said it backwards. When you was their age, there you go. That's what I meant to say. Let's get that first video.
I'm going to be teaching y'all how to sneak out with strict parents. See, I'm whispering because that's how strict my parents are. So that already lets you know what it is and what it ain't. So let's get straight into it. See, if you got like real strict parents, this is for the motherfuckers who got cameras everywhere through the house. I'm talking about you cannot go out.
Evil ass kids. Evil ass kids. Keep playing.
I'm talking about you got a ringer on the door. They know when you leave that bitch. This is for y'all, okay? So, boom. If you got cameras or whatever the case may be, and you just got cameras all around the house, this is my first tip, and this is what I'm going to tell y'all, and you better listen. Do not sneak out at night. You can't. It's impossible. They're going to know. You have cameras for one, and then the door is ringing.
Pause it.
Bitches
Pause it. This girl said don't sneak out at night. So what is she doing? She's trying to put you other young sisters on game. She said, don't sneak out at night.
The hell is this?
Which most of y'all children would say, I'm not going to sneak out at night. I'm going to do it in a different way. But watch this. Play on.
This period. Even if you don't like have a ringer on the door, it's still going to be obvious, because if your parents check the cameras back to back to back, that's your ass. Your ass is grass. You're fucked now. So just do not sneak out at night. If you have a ringer on the door or you have cameras all around the house, do not sneak out at night. That is your worst choice to make. Do not make that choice, okay? I have something else for you to do. Now listen, if you got cameras and you got a ringer on your door, you're going to want to start sneaking out during the day. Now, we're not going to consider this as sneaking out, because you're not sneaking out. You're sneaking away. Do you get what I'm saying? You're sneaking away. Because what you're going to do is you're going to tell your parents that you're going for a fucking walk. You are going for a fucking walk and you want some fresh fucking air. Do you hear me? I want to get some air. I want to get some sun. You hear me? So you gonna tell your motherfucking parents that you was going your ass outside and they gonna know that you taking a motherfucking walk. Now you go for a walk and you go with your little boo.
So
Simple as.
what's the problem with what she just said? She just
You
said,
niggas are crazy.
tell your parents you want to go out to get some sunlight. Say what? You want to go outside? Better take your ass to the backyard where I can see you. You're not about to walk around walking somewhere to the park by yourself. No, it's not happening. But some of y'all are foolish enough and you allow your daughters to go wandering off without your supervision.
You niggas
I'm
are
gonna
crazy.
just leave it like that. Hit play.
Simple and fucking easy, because you're not sneaking out during night. If you try to sneak out during night, you're fucked. Now, I do have a suggestion if you still want to be grown and sneak out at night, even though you have cameras and a ringer, or just cameras in general. You're gonna want to have to go through that window. You're going to want to already have your window almost open before you leave, because if you do it while they sleep, they're gonna hear you. So if you do plan on sneaking out at night, you're gonna have to already have the window slightly open before you sneak out. You know what I'm saying? Do it while they're awake. And if they ask you what that noise is, just say you're making something, you're doing something. So then when they go to sleep, your window already open, slide through the window, close that bitch, build a little body on the bed. You know, have that bitch all prepped up or whatever, and get the fuck ASAP, okay? Now see, one thing about me is I'm not gonna sneak out at night because I'm genuinely scared. And my dad, he takes cat naps, so he doesn't sleep thoroughly throughout the night. Like, he does not sleep throughout the night. He wakes up. You know what I'm saying? He wakes up, eats chips, uses the restroom. Like, he does not fully go to sleep 8 hours. He wakes up throughout his sleep. So that's why I prefer sneaking away in the morning, because if I go the fuck through window or just leave, he probably gonna know. And if you know your parents are the type to know, don't do it at night. Another suggestion that I have for like sneaking away and sneaking out, or trying to go to a party or go with your friend or whatever the case may be, is you're gonna wanna have to leave your house, okay? Either you're going to a job, you're going to your friend's house where your parents trust them, or you're going to your auntie house, your grandma's house. You're gonna wanna leave the house. For example, you're going to your grandma's house and you leave from there, okay? You can, this is what I used to do. I used to go to my auntie house and sneak out from my auntie house, because they ain't got no ringers on the door. They
You know
ain't
what
got
she
nothing.
said? Hey,
You know,
can you pause that? Go back about 10 seconds. You parents, if y'all ain't listening, you can't hear, rewind the video and listen very clear to what this little girl is saying. Because this video is out here and you will see many of the other teenage girls are following the same advice. And they will try it with you if they haven't already. Go back about 5 seconds. Listen to what she said.
and you leave from there, okay? You can, this is what I used to do. I used to go to my auntie house and sneak out from my auntie house.
She said,
Cause they ain't
pause
got no
right
ringers.
there. There it is. She said, I used to go to my auntie house and sneak out from there.
The hell is this?
That means you should not be letting your children go to your family member's house in the world who don't keep God's commandments and not know where they are. Now, I can't tell you, don't just leave them. Not my business, right? But I will tell you this. Don't be surprised you drop your kids off at your sister's house who don't keep God's commandments and your daughter end up pregnant. Or your son end up with a baby. Or you come back and find out they got shot at a house party. I'm just saying, because you're not using wisdom, not moving with wisdom. Go ahead, play it. Finish it out to 5:13.
They ain't got nothing, you know what I'm saying? I can sneak out and come back in, and it ain't gonna be a problem. Now, I did do this one time and got caught a little bit, but it always works, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to leave your house. Go to your grandma's house. Maybe if she goes to the store, she's out with her little old friends. You can go with your friends while she's out during that time, okay? Or you go to your friend's house and your parents trust your friends or whatever. Go out with your friends, go have fun, go to a party, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna wanna leave, okay? Or you can be like, I'm going to work today,
5:13.
call an Uber, put on your work clothes, or whatever.
Pause it right there.
But whole time.
Pause it right there. Pause it right there. He said, if not your auntie house, sneak away to your friends that your parents know. Remember, I made this statement earlier. You want to know your parents, not your parents. You should know the children that your kids are hanging around with, and you should know their parents. And I'll tell you one thing: if the parents are dumb as hell, best believe their kids dumb as hell too. I'ma just lay it out straight. So I'm not leaving my kids with nobody who I know I don't trust. I don't trust everybody with my kids. Y'all should be the same exact way, because everybody not upholding God's commandments. Some of y'all, some people just dumb. Let's tell you what it is.
That was dumb as hell.
It shouldn't happen. So guess what? When y'all have your children going to somebody else's house, you should know, you should trust that that parent is going to look after your child the same way they would do their own. Right. That means you have to know that that brother or that sister keeps God's commandments. Right. And you won't have to worry about those things. Now, the second part she said, or this last part she said, or sneak out from your job. So some of y'all with teenagers who have jobs, listen to this part. Go ahead, play the video.
Going to a fucking hotel. You're going to a fucking Airbnb. I'm suit up. I just put y'all on game.
Go back some. You gotta go back a few seconds. Go back a few seconds. Right there.
I'm going to work today. Call an Uber. Put on your work clothes.
You said act like you're going to work. No, let it play. Let it play.
But whole time you're going to a fucking hotel.
But the whole time you're going to a party.
You're going to a fucking...
Don't think for a minute that this can't be your child. Don't think for 1 minute your son or your daughter won't try this if they get caught. They play.
I'm suit up. I just put y'all on game. You gotta know how to do this kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? When you're sneaking out and you wanna go out without your parents knowing, you're gonna have to maneuver. Okay?
Let's get the next video now. We're gonna roll straight to the next video. Now, she just put you on game, quote unquote. No. What she did was just made many parents aware of things to look out for. Before we get the next video, y'all get that ready for me. This is why Sirach chapter 42 said this.
The book of Sirach, chapter 42 and verse 9.
Bring it out.
The father waketh for the daughter.
He does what?
Waketh for the daughter.
He watching to make sure. I gotta watch my words. He making sure her behind ain't trying no silly stuff like what we just saw. Go ahead.
When no man knoweth, and the care for her taketh away sleep.
It says, when no man knoweth, a father will be up at different hours of the night to look in his children's room to make sure they in the bed sleep. That's what the Lord said. Read it again.
The father waketh for the daughter, when no man knoweth, and the care for her taketh away sleep.
The father will lose sleep behind his daughters to make sure they don't find themselves doing this stupid crap that this little girl just said. Read.
When she is young, lest she pass away the flower of her age.
Yeah, she end up losing her virginity in her father's house. Read.
And being married, lest she should be hated.
And that's going unless she become a evil wife in the future because she wasn't corrected at that young age. Go to the next video. Go to that next video now. Smoking without getting caught. Now let's see another video. Smoking without getting caught.
Straight into it. Okay, y'all. So,
because guess what? She got another one. Go ahead.
Smoke and you buy weed, you roll your blunts, you know what I'm saying? You literally buy weed all the time. You always smoke and you're literally not trying to get caught with it. This is my tip for actual smokers who roll up every day. The first thing that you're going to need is a candle. You're going to need a candle, you're going to need a towel, and you're going to need some air freshener, okay? And this is why.
So now you know if your child start asking about random candles and towels, you know what they're doing. Play on.
rolls blunts in their room. I'm pretty sure everybody rolls a blunt in their room. And you're not going to want to smoke in your room. I don't care how much of a fiend you are, you cannot smoke in your room because you're going to get caught. It's just that simple. It's just that easy. But the simple smell of weed is very, very strong. So just by you opening a jar of marijuana, you can smell that through the room. And you really want to avoid that because while you're rolling, the weed is so strong, you can smell it through the door. Because I got this gas, y'all.
1.25. Please put the speed on 1.25 if you can.
And it's so strong that my mom can smell it while the door is closed. So here's my tip on not getting caught with having weed on you, okay? So the first thing you want to do is you want to put your weed in a jar because you got to put your weed in a jar. Do not put your weed in a Ziploc bag, in a little glasses case. You want to have it in a jar. That's a good place to store your weed because if you place it somewhere else, your weed probably will go bad. So you want to place it in a jar because keeping your weed in a jar will keep your weed fresh for a long period of time, for at least 6 months, okay? So you want to put your weed in a jar and then you want to put that jar in probably a sock. 2 socks, actually. Put it in 2 socks and put that jar that's in the 2 socks, put that in a bag and put that bag into a bag. So, for example, you got your weed in a jar and then you put it into a sock or whatever. You want to put it in a bag like this, okay? You're going to close the bag, okay? Listen, let me tell you. Close the bag. Put this same bag into another bag. And you're going to put that same bag into your closet. Now, the reason why you want to put it in your closet is because a closet is something that you can close. A closet is something that you can close shut. You do not want that shit just lying around your room because if you smoke that loud, you're going to be able to smell it and it's going to be really, really strong. So, make sure.
That was dumb as hell.
I want y'all to look at her eye. Look at her eyelids. That's all. I wanted to, boom, throw that out there. Carry on. Carry on.
Jar your weed up and keep it in a jar. If you're the type that you like to roll in your room, while you are rolling a blunt, like I said, weed is strong. If you are smoking that loud for real, like if you actually smoke that gas, you're gonna be able to smell it because I kid you not, I was rolling in my room one day and then I went to go smoke and then I came back. Mind you, I put the weed up. I just had the blunt lying around in my glasses case around my room.
Hey,
I didn't put the glasses case in the bag.
Y'all heard that? She said I had the weed in my glasses case. Now, if y'all want to know how many ways it is to hide paraphernalia, there's many. All right, iPod cases, glasses cases. What's them little cups? Them Stanley cups, Ziploc bags, and purses, bags. I'm telling y'all, wise to do evil. Now, I wanted to point that out because as parents, again, if you have a thought that your child may be smoking something, I want y'all to pay attention to the video so y'all can find out different places where you can search. Because glasses are not always in a glass case. All right? The pen ain't always a pen. The cup ain't always holding liquid inside. And sometimes these kids, what they do today is they put these things in Ziploc bags and put it in ice water in the Stanley cup because they know you won't look there. All right, play the video.
Where the weed was. I just had it lying around my room. My mom came to my door and she was like, it smells like reefer in here. So the tip with that, you're going to want to have a towel. Put the towel by your door, okay? Y'all know how like your door has a little airway at the bottom? You want to get a towel and you want to stuff it at the door. You must stuff it at the door because that air is coming in and out of that and the smell is going to seep through that door and it's going to get through, the whole house. You probably want to also close your vents as well. Now, while you're rolling, you need a candle. If you ain't got a candle, don't even think about smoking. Don't even think about rolling the blunt in your room. You need to go outside and do that. Find a place outside to do it. Hit up a friend, be like, hey, I want a hot box, but I need to roll the blunt in your car, blah, 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 whatever the case may be. So get you a candle. Do not get no cheap-ass candle because if you get a cheap candle that has no smell, then your room is going to smell like weed and you want to get rid of that scent. So I have a candle. I got this candle for Bath & Body Works. It's called Mary Cookie. I have never used it yet. I also have the lavender and vanilla, but the lavender and vanilla is not too strong, so make sure you just get a strong candle. If you are a candle lover and you can tell which candle is strong or not, pick that one up. The candles that are usually strong have a strong smell. So if it has a strong smell, pick that up. Candles are the best thing to have when you're trying to get rid of the smell of weed. Okay? Now here is the tip on not getting caught with being high and going to go smoke. First thing you want to do to not get caught going to go smoke the weed, you're going to want to take your blunt, put the blunt into either a blunt packet or a Ziploc bag. Don't put the blunt in a jar because we don't got time for that. Put that little blunt in a little Ziploc bag. Put it in your glasses case if you have a glasses case. If you don't, then just skip that step and put the glasses case.
Down your hiding spot again. Little girl need her ass whooped. Keep playing.
into a bag, or put it into a fanny pack and bring your lighter with you, bring some water, bring some hand sanitizer, and bring some perfume, and go outside and go smoke. After you have finished smoking, you are going to smell a little bit like weed, especially if you are in a car. But if you're just sitting outside, you won't really smell as much like weed as if you were in a car. If you're just sitting outside, all you're going to want to do is put some hand sanitizer on, have some gum, you need gum, and spray some perfume, okay? And that's it. Come in the house and go straight to your room. Do not lie around and sit around in the house with your parents. Come straight to your room, change your clothes, and then go back out there if you want to, or whatever the case may be. But if you're too stoned to be around your parents, just lay in the bed.
There you go. And
Now,
any parent should be able to pick something like that. Your child come from anywhere, and they don't come and address the father of the house and the mother of the house and salute them when they come in the house. That's number one. First thing you do. But if they come to your house and they go straight to the room, that goes change clothes, you should automatically know something is wrong with that in the first place.
Message.
But in case some of you are absentee parents, there you go. Go ahead.
Are just coming from a hot box session. Let me tell y'all motherfucking something. Hot boxing is the best way to smell like weed. If you want to smell like weed for real, sit in a car and smoke. You are sitting in a closed motherfucking area where there is literally no windows are open. You're sitting in a closed area full of smoke. You're gonna smell like weed when you come out that car. So if you just got done hotboxing, you want to sit outside for a couple of minutes. You want to air the smell out. Like, you want to air the smell out, because baby, I'm telling you, I promise you, you're gonna smell like weed. That cheap ass Bath and Body Works is not gonna work when you smell like weed. Some perfume is not gonna cover it up either, but bring it anyways. So you just want to make sure you stand outside for a couple of minutes or so to like get the smell off you, and then just spray perfume, get your hand sanitizer, and get your gum. Now, one time I had hotbox with these boys or whatever. I was probably like 16 years old. I was with my cousin.
Somebody bring him some almond milk.
Bro. Yeah. I done seen this video about 2-3 times and it still pissed me off the same. Is that the timestamp? Yeah, so
Boy, if you don't get...
hey, so y'all see this. Hey, don't close the video. Y'all didn't close the video out yet, did you? Go to the comment section. Because I know the thought right now. Some parents are like, not my child. Okay. Let's go to the comment section. Because these videos are not up here with thousands of views for no reason. All right. So again, these are things we have to be mindful of. Go to the comment section, please. Let's read the comment section from some of these other children. Let's see what some of these children are saying about this video. Zoom in. There you go. Appreciate it.
Get a smell-proof bag. Why are you munching on them chips like that? Because they never be that good.
Read on.
Chill. My parents like...
Child. That's that ratchet. Child. You know that kind of
Child. My parents like yours. They can never tell. And I smoke every day, period.
Hey, look. The child says she smoked every day and her parents don't know. I'm bringing this out to show you, parents, it can be anybody's child. You can't be clueless to think, oh, not my child. No, you can't be clueless. That's why you have to distill God's commandments, that structure. That's why you have to keep a sure watch over your children. You got to know what's going on. Beware of thine own children. Read on.
Like it's never that good. Girl, I'm hollering. I love your tips and advice. Your hair also holds on to the smell.
The hell is this?
So dry shampoo helps the smell from hanging around. Always play with your hair outside and use that dry shampoo. Also layer your clothes and take the outer layers off. Spend as much
to do evil. Read.
Spend as much time outside after.
Read this next one.
Some tips for people with strict parents and new smokers. If you can, what I do, I ask to get dropped off at the park to hang with my friends. Then we walk to our boy's house.
Bruh. Hey, look, take the mouse and just go stop. Go back up to the comment. Don't click it. I want you to just take the mouse and go to the right. Read the title of that video. Don't click it. Just read the title.
What's in my sneaky link bag?
I'm telling y'all,
The hell is this?
the evil is there. The evil is right in your face. And these are the same children who are around your children for 8 hours a day.
Message.
8 hours a day. So I say that to say, we got to pay attention. We got to be mindful of these things, all right? And also, if your kids got telegrams, a telegram, you better be checking a telegram. If your kid do have a phone, you should be checking it randomly. At some point at nighttime, if they if they got a phone to check YDOS page or they checking the YMOV, at some point that phone goes to you in your room.
Right.
You shouldn't have that phone up on it all night doing who knows what.
Right.
What kind of group messages? Because believe it or not, some of the kids up in here, you're doing the same stuff.
Right.
And your child get caught up in it because you're not teaching them. Go back to, did I have something else on that? Oh, we got one more video.
Just on Instagram, like, why not? You know, like pictures for me. This is the first tip I'm getting in. This is for the sneaking in tips, okay? Let's say you sneaking a nigga in, and your parents is at work. You gotta know their work schedule. If you be like, oh, I don't know, so I'm gonna get off. I don't see how bitches do that anyways. Because just please don't be that type of bitch like you don't know what I'm saying. I'm gonna get off or don't know. You gotta know her work schedule. If you don't know when she get off and you trying to stick a nigga in and she come at random times, please know your parents' work schedule. That stuff ain't an important one because if you don't know when they get off.
There. Let's turn that up when we hit play. Turn it up a little bit for me. So the first thing this girl said was to know your parents' work schedule.
The hell is this?
All right.
Always like if I ask her what time you get off because she think you doing some sticky shit. This is what I do, me personally. I just be like, Mom, what time you get off? Because I'm hungry. Like I just try to slide it in there. Like you can't make it obvious that you focusing on that main question. You gotta make it like it's another question with it. You feel me? I be like, yeah, Mom, what time you get off? Because I'm hungry and I'm ready for you to cook. She be like, oh, this time. She tell me this time. I be like, there we go. I got it. Like you gotta say some slick shit. Like you gotta make it seem like you're not focused on that one question. I just be seeing that shit so I can see what she is. But anyways, yeah, that's tip 2. Make sure you talk to them before you do it. Like try to find out what time to get off, where they at, all that shit before you even let the nigga walk in your damn house. Okay, boom. They in here, you good. But after they leave, sometimes they can be fuck ups. Because let's say the nigga done left some shit. Now your mama find it and she asks who this shit.
I want y'all to pay very close attention how she's explaining this. This girl has done this multiple times.
She belongs to the streets.
Multiple times. You're looking at a future baby mama, somebody future abortion clinic recipients, the Gold Medal of the Year award. You're looking at somebody future on welfare if this doesn't change. Now, I'm not saying this little girl is going to fall in that, but these habits, these actions will carry our children right into that same pattern, into that same circle of life, I should say. Go ahead and play.
Message.
That's your ass. If you gonna stick a nigga in, best thing to tell you, clean everything up after it. Like, make sure you check in everything. Like, I gotta tell mama, if it's dust on the fucking table, she trying to figure out why the fuck the dust on the other side of the table. Yeah, she like that. She check everything. She know how her shit look when she came out this bitch. She know what I touch and what I don't touch. So she just very observant and she ain't dumb. So if you got this type of mama, your best bet is to make sure you check for everything around the house. I mean, check under your bed, check places y'all won't even at, because you never know when the nigga doing some sticky shit. Okay, when they leave, make sure they leave at least a good 30 minutes or an hour before your parents get home, because you never know, like, they might get off a little early. That's why I thought one time, I'm like, come on and get off. She usually, like, normally she'll just, you know, she stays off at 4, but she still got to drive home. So it's like, I know she get off at 4, but she still got to drive home, so she gonna take a good, she ain't gonna get to like 4:30, 4:40 type Jane, right? So I'm thinking that in my head one time, this was the worst 2-minute story time, I believe. Yeah, that was the worst 2-minute story time. Go watch that if you watch it. But yeah, I'm like, okay, cool. I ain't gonna get caught. Like they can stay here for a good 10 more minutes. No, baby, she got there exactly at 4 o'clock. Meaning she must have got off early, because if you get off at 4 o'clock, how the fuck you get in the house?
Right? He said one time I snuck 2 niggas.
She belongs to the streets.
She said one time I snuck 2 niggas. I told y'all. This ain't her first rodeo. Sad to say. It's sad to say that this spirit is on a lot of our daughters.
The hell is this?
And I'm not talking about just, I'm talking about as a whole. The nation of Israel. A lot of our daughters out there in the world have this spirit. So again, watch your children. If you know your daughter got a little friend she talking to at the school, you see her talking, conversating, and you know that this who she talking to, you're a damn fool not to cut that off. With the quickness, you should be cutting that conversation off. I bet not ever see you talking to her again. Just like that. But go on before I go on a rant. Go play. Continue to play.
You feel me? Please make the person leave a little early before they get off. If you think G's, then hey, go for it. But I know one time I thought I was, and I sure the fuck wasn't. Okay, but for our bitches, they be like, okay, so what if when I stick it in and I get caught, what I do then? I got you. Really, all I can really tell you is find the best fucking hiding spot. You gotta look for the best hiding spot in this bitch. And I'm gonna tell you what I think is the best hiding spot. Me personally, my mama don't be checking my closet shit. So if I hide a nigga in my closet, I'm G's anyways. But for people that got parents that check their closets all under their bed and stuff, like she feel like somebody's in here, like she heard them. And she be like, okay, I heard a nigga in here, like. But then she'll start checking under my bed and stuff if she heard a nigga, cause then she go think I'm playing with her. But so if you gotta tell your parent that checks everywhere, your best bet is to find the best hiding spot, like your best hiding spot. Don't put him nowhere stupid. You got really plan out how your house is and what's the best way to hide him. So when your mama go in her room or in the bathroom or something, he can leave. So if you know how your house set up, and if you got like a room somewhere he can hide in near it or a bathroom near it, put that motherfucker in there. Put him somewhere your mama don't check though. You feel me? So for me,
Right, so
I feel like the
real quick.
Activities with whole tendencies.
Yeah, play it one more time.
You're doing whole activities with whole tendencies.
Sirach 26, verse 10.
The book of Sirach, chapter 26 and verse 10.
Bring it out.
If thy daughter be shameless, keep her in straightly.
If you know your daughter has a whorish spirit on her, the Bible said what?
Keep her in straightly.
You need to be strict. You need to know her every move. Give her no liberty. That means your child, your young daughter, should not be at the movies with her friend without parental advisory. Your daughter should not be allowed to have no social media account. Your daughter should not be allowed to be on no cell phone at 1 hours of the night. None of that stuff. Because then you have things like this happening. Your daughter should not be left to her own demise. Keep reading.
Lest she abuse herself through overmuch liberty.
That we're looking at an example of that right now. This young daughter is abusing herself, and God forbid something happened to her, she get caught up in catching an STD, or she invite a pedo in her house. Cause I know, for YouTube, she invite a pedo in the house, and he do some worse evil to her, or she end up on the back of somebody's trailer somewhere.
The hell is this?
These are things that happen to our young daughters who have no instruction. Go back to the video. Is there more in that video? All right, let's finish that video.
spot will be hiding a nigga in the bathroom with me. Because like I said, I have a bathroom that way. So all I gotta do, if she this way, all I gotta do is take him to that bathroom. If she that way, I gotta take him to that bathroom. Just run out with him. That's how my house set up. It depends on how your house is set up.
The hell is this?
So look, like I said before, you gotta watch your kids. These type of kids are around your children. When your kids get dropped off at 7 o'clock in the morning, they with this girl from 7 to 3:30 every day, 5 days a week, 40 hours. You don't think that girl's gonna entice your daughter? You don't think this little girl's gonna entice your son to be the brother sneaking in her house? You'll be a fool to believe that it won't happen. Because I'll tell you what, when I was a teenager, yeah, I did it. I snuck in a house before. I know brothers that's watching, I'm not the only one. But guess what? These things happen. But with us knowing these, it's our job to instruct our children not to fall into these traps. It's our job to guide them so they don't fall into these traps. Give me Proverbs 20, verse 11, and get those images. Proverbs chapter 20 and verse 11.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 20 and verse 11.
Bring it out.
Even a child is known by his doings.
Even what?
Even a child is known by his doings.
The Lord said a child is known by their doings. Read.
Whether his work be pure, and whether it be right.
So you know if you got an evil child. You know what spirit is on your child. And if you don't know, shame on you. Because you're absentee. You're an absentee parent. You're a father or a mother who don't give a damn about your child. That's the only way you won't know what your children are dealing with. The Lord said a child is known by his doing. So guess what we have to stop doing, Israel? We got to stop playing games. We got to stop playing games with our children. If you have a shameless daughter, you got to set things up. If you have a reckless son, same thing. You should be able to identify these things in your children and correct them. Correct them with the word of God. All right, what else? If you know your child is sneaky, if you know you got a lying son or a daughter, you got a violent and angry child, if you know your son's effeminate or your daughter is manly, you got to fix those things. You have to fix those things, all right? You as a parent are supposed to spot these traits and cut them at the root. All right, give me those images, because this is what some of y'all think. Give me the images. Some of y'all, when you see your son, no matter what he do, this is what you see. Oh, my little baby. It's mainly you sisters. Oh, it's my baby.
The hell is this?
It's just a phase. He's just a baby. He don't know. Go to the next one. This is what you see when you look at your 16-year-old boy who told you to shut your damn mouth. Go to the next picture. This is what you see when your teenage children are disrespecting you. When they sneaking out. This is what you see. When you know they at school failing all these classes because they skipping class.
The hell is this?
When you find the cell phone with the text message from the little boy, the little girl. This is what you see. But in all reality, what are you really looking at? This is what you really see.
Message.
This is what your child has become when they're overtaken in their sin. Go to the next image. Look at this. Go to the next image.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 40 and verse 30. Even the youth shall faint and be weary.
So the Lord said, even the youth, even our teenage daughters and sons, our sons and daughters. Read it again.
Even the youth shall faint and be weary.
Read.
And the young men shall utterly fall.
Go ahead and get that definition out.
Verb, lose consciousness for a short time because a temporarily insufficient supply of oxygen to the brain.
So it said lose consciousness. This is in a spiritual sense when the Lord said the youth shall faint. Some of our sons and daughters will lose spiritual consciousness. All right. It said because of a temporary insufficient supply of oxygen or keeping of God's commandments. Read that last definition.
A sudden loss of consciousness.
Sudden loss of consciousness. Conscious of what? Of God's commandments. Give me the definition of weary.
Definition of weary. Feeling or showing tiredness, especially as a result of excessive exertion.
Excessive exertion going into what? That's us fighting in this truth. Some of our children may become tired, worn out. Keep reading.
Similar. Tire out. Fatigued.
Fatigue. Battle fatigue. Go back to now we got the definitions. Go back to the scripture now. Let's go back to the scripture.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 40 and verse 20 or verse 30. Even the youth shall faint.
Some of our children will lose consciousness spiritually. Read.
And be weary.
And some of them may fall into battle fatigue. Read.
And the young men shall utterly fall.
And young men are what? Shall what?
Shall utterly fall.
Some of our children will fall into their temptation. Some may fall headlong into the world. Some may become battle fatigued. Some of our children may, some of our children may be completely gone and fall away from the Lord altogether. But does that mean you just give up? What do you do after that? You have to restore these young men. You have to restore these young daughters if that's them, if they do fall into that. It's our job. If your child falls in this category, you have to restore them back to health. Because the Lord already warned us. We don't went through many examples, many different evils out there, many temptations that are out there that our children see every day when they go to these schools. But guess what? If they fall, you don't cast away your child. You restore them back to health. All right? And we got to keep mindful, or be mindful, I should say. If you know your son or your daughter already got 1 foot in the door as it is, don't destroy the little bit of spirit that they got. Build upon that. Don't destroy them and cause them to completely go out there when you already see them going. That it makes no sense to do that. That's not being wise. All right? Give me Galatians 6:1. Galatians chapter 6, verse 1. The Lord said, even the youth, even some of our children will fall to their temptation. Galatians 6:1. If they do, what shall we do?
The book of Galatians, chapter 6 and verse 1.
Uh-huh.
Brethren, if a man be overtaken in a fault.
And if your son or your daughter do fall to their sin, and they do fall into one of these things that we saw, read.
Ye which are spiritual.
Ye which are what?
Spiritual.
So you spiritual parents, read.
Restore such and one in the spirit of meekness.
You have to restore them. Restore them. Not mock and rejoice in them falling into their temptation. Read.
Considering thyself.
Considering your who?
Thyself.
Considering yourself. Because just like we saw some of this foolishness, any one of us can fall into the same thing. So we have to be mindful in how we build our children up as well. We have to prepare them to be able to go out and fight against these things. Read on.
Lest thou also be tempted.
Drop that. Go to Isaiah 40. Go back to Isaiah chapter 40, verse 29.
The book of Isaiah.
So go back to read 30. Read verse 30 again.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 40 and verse 30.
Uh-huh.
Even the youth shall faint and be weary.
Read.
And the young men shall utterly fall.
So remember, the Lord says some of our children will fall, right? But jump to verse 29.
Verse 29. He giveth power to the faint.
But the Lord does what?
Giveth power to the faint.
Those who become faint-hearted, the Lord will give you strength to overcome. Read it again.
He giveth power to the faint.
Read.
And to them that have no might, he increaseth strength.
Verse 31.
Verse 31. But they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength.
He shall what?
Renew their strength.
He'll do what?
Renew their strength.
The Lord will renew your strength if you believe in that. If you believe the Lord will renew your strength, he will do so. Read on.
They shall mount up with wings
so
as
drop that part. The Lord will renew the spirit in that child if they want. If you trust in the Lord, if you pray and if you fast, the Lord will renew your strength. So don't think just because you fall until your child fall off that that's it. No, restore that child to health. Push them back in the right path they must go so they can continue to build up. If you have a son, if he fall, you pick him back up in the spirit and you guide him. That way he can continue to be an avenger. All right? Go to Sirach chapter 3.
The book of Sirach, chapter 3 and verse 1. Hear me, your father, O children, and do thereafter, that ye may be safe.
So guess what? The youth, you must listen to God's words that you be safe, that you don't fall into the traps of this world, that the Lord don't destroy you for sneaking out your parents' house, that the Lord don't destroy you when you overdose over fentanyl, over a lace blunt, that you don't go out here with a child sneaking out and he's drunk and driving and you get wrapped around a pole somewhere. You better listen to God's words so you can be safe. Read.
For the Lord hath given the father honor over the children.
The Lord gave who?
The father honor over the children.
The Lord gave the father. Read.
And have confirmed the authority of the mother.
He gave what?
The authority of the mother over the son.
The Lord gave honor of the father and the mother over that house. The father and the mother is your job to guide your household. Not your student teachers, not the damn television, not TikTok, not social media, not Facebook, not the friends next door, not your big mama and them who don't keep God's commandments. He gave you authority to guide your household. We must seek out the book and read the instruction that the Lord left for us. All right? Hope y'all got something from this class. And with that, we say shalom.
What is the nation?
Nation is men leading by example. Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is children with role models. Nation is unity. Nation is you.
And finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord. His word